All right, let's talk about the future of work because it's changing. And I mean, really changing, faster than ever before. Everything from the jobs we do to the skills we're going to need, it's all being transformed as we head towards 2030. So let's kick things off with a pretty staggering number.
78 million. That's the big one. It's the projected number of net new jobs the global economy is expected to create by the end of this decade. Now, on the surface, that sounds incredible, doesn't it? A huge wave of new opportunity.
And it is, but that number, it's really just the tip of the iceberg. The full story is way more complex and, frankly, a lot more fascinating. See, what's happening underneath that big, shiny number is a massive reshuffle of pretty much the entire job market.
Okay, so let's dive into that. This is what we're calling the 78 million job question. Because to really get what's going on, you have to look beyond just that net number and see the incredible churn happening just below the surface. And when I say churn, I mean it. Check this out. That 78 million net gain, it's actually the result of about 170 million brand new roles being created, while at the same time, 92 million existing roles are displaced. This isn't just simple growth. No way. This is a massive, fundamental transformation. We're not just adding jobs to the pile, we are completely changing the kind of jobs that exist.
So the big question is, what's driving all this? Well, there are a few major forces all hitting at once, creating this whole new economic landscape. Let's break them down.
There are really four big engines here. First, and this is the biggest one, is just broader digital access. More people online, more businesses connected, it changes everything. Right on its heels, you've got the explosion of generative AI and how we process information. And then, rounding it out, you have the huge push for a green economy and, major shifts in population demographics. All of these are completely reshaping industries.
And you can see the impact of this so clearly right here. On one side, you've got the jobs that are on the decline. Things like data entry, admin work, cashier roles, basically routine tasks that tech is getting really good at. But then, look at the other side. You've got this surge in jobs that, let's be honest, barely existed 10 years ago. AI and machine learning specialists, sustainability specialists, data scientists. The writing is on the wall.
This brings us to a really important idea. So often we hear this narrative of robots are taking our jobs, but that's not really the whole picture. The real story is about how we're going to start working with technology. It's all about augmentation. And it's super important to know the difference here. Automation, that's when a machine does a task instead of a person. Simple. But augmentation, this is the game changer. That's when tech assists a person, helping them do their job better, faster, or more creatively. It's not a replacement, it's a superpower.
So let's look at how things stand today. Right now, across the whole economy, about 47% of tasks are done mainly by people. Tech handles about 22%, and the other 30% is a mix of both. That's the baseline. Now watch what's coming. By 2030, this picture looks totally different. The people-only slice shrinks down to about a third, but look at what grows. The tech-only slice grows to a third, and that combination slice, that human-machine partnership, also grows to a third. We're heading for an almost perfectly balanced split. That right there is the new frontier.
And this vision, it kind of sums it all up, doesn't it? You see the tech woven into everything, AI, robotics, green energy, but just as importantly, you see people collaborating, innovating, working together. The future isn't some cold robotic world. It's a living, breathing ecosystem where human ingenuity gets a massive boost from technology.
Okay, so what does all of this mean for you, for me, for all of us? Let's get practical and talk about the actual skills you're going to need to not just survive, but really thrive in this new world. This is the most important part.
All right, number one, top of the list, king of the hill, no matter what else changes, the most sought-after core skill is analytical thinking. Yep, the ability to look at a complex problem, break it down, and figure it out. That's a human superpower, and it's only getting more valuable. Now, if we look at the fastest growing skills, you see this really cool mix. Of course, the technical stuff is right up there. AI, big data, you'd expect that. But right alongside them, things like creative thinking, resilience, flexibility and agility, and my personal favorite, curiosity and lifelong learning. These are the things that make us human, and they're in high demand. So here's the real takeaway on skills. The future isn't about choosing a side, tech skills or human skills. It's about building a bridge between them.
You need to be technologically literate, for sure. But you also have to double down on what makes you human. Your creativity, your leadership, your self-awareness. That blend, that's the magic formula.
And all of this leads us to the final piece of the puzzle, and maybe the most critical one. With all this change happening so fast, there's one clear imperative for every single one of us. We have to keep learning. Always.
And this is huge. This future we're talking about. It's not some destiny that's already written. It's being shaped right now by the choices we all make, the investments we make in new skills, the policies we support. We're not just passengers here. We're actually building the road.
And that's really what it all boils down to. Yeah, there's a gap between the skills of yesterday and the demands of tomorrow, and that can feel a little scary. But look at it another way. It is the single biggest opportunity for growth that we've seen in a long, long time. Upskilling isn't about not getting left behind, it's about leading the way to a more interesting and fulfilling career. So let's leave it with this thought. The future of work is literally being built today. It's not some abstract thing happening out there. It's happening with every new skill we learn, every new idea we explore. So the real question is, how will you be a part of it?